My name's Olivia, and today I will be teaching you about weather, Greek mythology, and science. As you can see, it's gotten very dark. You can't see this, but there's a cumulonimbus cloud right there. But anyways, cumulonimbus clouds are a sign of a thunderstorm coming very soon. Oh, what a coincidence! There was just lightning. So, I might as well teach you about lightning and thunder. Thunder and lightning. Thunder and lightning is a sometimes scary phenomenon, but a shocking one. Let's start with lightning. Lightning starts to form on a hot day when hot air rises rapidly. This hot air will rise all the way up to the stratosphere and form cumulonimbus clouds, unlike where normal clouds are formed in the troposphere. Anyways, within the cumulonimbus clouds, updrafts and downdrafts are produced. When the two roots of drafts brush past each other, it creates friction, which builds up an electrical charge. All this friction then forms a negative charge at the bottom of the cumulonimbus cloud. This negative charge's goal is to meet a positive charge. A positive charge is found in the ground. This is what causes lightning to strike the ground. Now, on to thunder. Thunder is the sound of the explosion lightning creates. The explosion is from hot air spreading too quickly. You always see lightning before you hear thunder because light travels faster than sound. Zeus. Zeus was the king of the gods and ruled the sky. He had supreme power to everything and could override anything except the fates. You could say he's a pretty powerful guy. Zeus ruled the sky and had control over thunder, lightning, and rain. His lightning bolts were his master weapons that were specially handcrafted for him by the Cyclopses. However, legend says that he also had the ability to shoot lightning out of his bare hands. Whenever he unleashed his lightning, it was to punish mortals that were acting out. Thunder was his signature mighty roar that unleashed his anger. Zeus also had the ability to make it rain at will. Basically, according to Greek mythology, gods, nymphs, and other mythical creatures had total control over the weather. Rainbows occur after rain, so why don't we take a look at rainbows? Rainbows. The curiosity of an individual is infinite when it comes to wondering about rainbows. One may ask, how do rainbows form? Well, rainbows usually appear in the sky during rain or after rain has occurred. The key things needed for a rainbow to form in the sky are sunlight and moisture. It takes a very specific way in how sunlight and raindrops meet in creating a rainbow. You see, the sun's white light enters the rain droplets, while the rain droplets separate the white light into the colors of the visible spectrum. The white light is separated when the droplet refracts each color in a different angle. You begin to see the arches of the different colors due to each raindrop refracting colors in the same angle and into your eye. The arc forms due to millions of raindrops that are in the sky. The format of the colors of a rainbow is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. This is due to the fact that red has the greatest refracted angle, orange has the second greatest refracted angle, yellow's refracted angle is a little less than orange, and so on and so forth. The angles the colors are refracted at depend on the color's wavelength. Red has the longest wavelength of visible light, therefore it will have the largest angle of reaction. This applies to the rest of the colors also. Iris. Iris is the goddess of the rainbow. Typically, in Greek mythology, rainbows were used by Iris as a form of transportation to message the gods for each other. Whenever a rainbow appeared in the sky, the ancient Greeks would know Iris was in the midst of delivering a message from one mythical being to another. At one end of the rainbow would be the sender of the message, and the other end would be the receiver of the message. However, sometimes one end of the rainbow would be out in the middle of a body of water. In this case, the rainbow would be a way of transporting water to the clouds. Basically, rainbows were seen as a form of transportation for superhuman beings in Greek mythology. Oh, look, it's actually windy! Anyways, let's see how wind works and sorts of things like that. Wind. Wind is a huge part of our lives, yet we might not know about it as much as we would like to. Wind occurs based on the movement of warm air and cold air. The sun heats the land, and the land heats the air above itself. Thus, warm air molecules spread farther apart, taking up less space and then becoming less dense. Then, the cold air carries the warm air up. This is why warm air rises. Also, the cold air sinks because it is denser than warm air, due to its molecules being more tightly packed together. This process then continues in a cycle where cool air carries up warm air, and the warm air brings down cool air. Wind forms due to the constant moving of the air. Wind also takes place due to Earth's rotation. Since Earth spins, the air around it must also spin. Aeolus. Aeolus is the keeper of the winds. He is large in size but also has a large heart. He inhabits the island Aeolia. Since seamen often cross the island Aeolia, Aeolus released the wind spirits at the god's word when they wished to cause distress for seamen. The violent wind spirits would usually destroy ships or cause them to capsize. According to Greek mythology, each wind spirit has a name. Aeolus' job is to release the winds when the gods ask. He is also known as Iris' cousin. Even though Aeolus is not a god, he is immortal, which allows him to live forever. This allows him to remain keeper of the winds for all eternity. Snow. Snow is a form of precipitation. Precipitation occurs when water vapor evaporates from a body of water. Then that water forms into a cloud, which is called condensation. Next, the water becomes too heavy for the cloud and falls to the ground, which is called precipitation. This is called the water cycle. Again, snow is a form of precipitation. Snow forms when the temperature outside is below freezing, which is 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 degrees Celsius. When the atmosphere is colder than these temperatures, it causes water to freeze, creating ice crystals. The ice crystals grow larger as more water vapor freezes onto it. When the ice crystals grow heavy enough, it falls out of the cloud and down to earth. The ice crystals are known as snow. Kion. Kion is the Greek goddess of snow. She is a minor goddess who is also a daughter of the benevolent wind god Boreas. Kion is described as very majestic, graceful, and beautiful. Like how Zeus creates rain, Kion commands snow and creates it at her will. Besides her role of playing a minor goddess, Kion is also a nymph. Nymphs are mythical spirits of nature. Hurricanes. Hurricanes are created when warm ocean water heats the air, turning it warm and moist. Warm and moist air is what fuels the hurricane. As warm air rises, it leaves a lack of air near the surface of Earth, also known as low air pressure. More air gets drawn into the hurricane because more air is drawn into wherever there is low air pressure. The air gets drawn into the eye of the hurricane because that's where the lowest air pressure is. At the same time, the warm water evaporates and forms clouds. This is how the hurricane grows in size and power. Hurricanes spin due to the Earth's Coriolis effect. This is why hurricanes north of the equator spin clockwise and hurricanes south of the equator spin counterclockwise. A hurricane gradually loses its strength when it comes onto land. This happens because there is no more warm, moist air to fuel it. They usually take a week or more to completely lose its power. Violent storms in mythology. Long ago in ancient Greece existed three brothers called the Hecatoncheires. These three brothers were known as the gods of violent storms and hurricanes. The Hecatoncheires were brothers who were shunned into Tartarus, which is the deepest abyss in the underworld. They were hidden from the rest of the world because Uranos, their father, feared their power, for they each had 100 arms and 50 heads. Legend says they had these features to create the power of violent storms. However, they were released by Zeus when he was in the process of overthrowing Uranos and the rest of the Titans. If the Hecatoncheires helped Zeus overthrow the Titans, their freedom would be promised in return. To this day, they are known as the doorkeepers of Tartarus. They no longer inhabit it, but they keep violent storm winds called the Anemoi Thueli inside Tartarus. The Anemoi Thueli are violent storm spirits who are imprisoned in Tartarus and only let out by commands of the gods in order to prevent chaos. The end. Thank you for watching and thank you for putting up with me